Alright, so today we are going to talk about this trailer behind me. The trailer that we're working on right now. We're going to talk about the people we evicted. We're going to talk about the destruction and damage they did. And also, what came from this trailer? One of the largest ID theft rings here in Georgia was at this trailer park. So let's get into it. So, like I said, we're using 3 different cameras. And, oh, you're just going to sit down back there? You're not going to run around like you usually do?
I will. I'm just...
Okay. So, like I said, number 11 was the last trailer we evicted. Probably this might be the actual last eviction story because we've got other people we're dealing with, but they didn't cause as much problems as this place, 2 times at number 10, and what we're about to talk about here, number 11. And I'm not lying when I said it got nuts. It got nuts and brought a lot of issues, more than this trailer here. This trailer was bad. The people that lived here, it was bad. But number 11, So the young lady moved in about 2 years ago, I think it was. About 2 years, I think is what we've got. And for the first 6 months to a year, she was all right. She was paying her rent. She was doing great. And she did mention that she had a husband or boyfriend that was getting out of jail soon, and he was going to be moving in with her. I was like, all right, cool. Everybody deserves a second chance. But the second chance was not really a second chance because he didn't fix himself. Because come to find out, he was apparently in jail for abuse and theft and all the other things that come with what people do. So like I said, everything was going good for a little while there. Like she was paying her rent, she got a little behind, but things, we're okay. But then her husband gets out of jail, and that's when it started going down south. Like they, at first she was telling me about issues that she would come up, like this would break or that would break, and I'd go take care of it. But once he moved in, well, rent started getting behind. All right, but getting caught up, get behind, get caught up, and then certain things. Like they wouldn't tell me about things that were coming up. The only thing they would tell me about is their AC unit going down. And so I would go over there and fix it. But every time I went over there, it just seemed a little sus, shall we say. Like they were, what?
You just said sus. Suspicious.
Yeah. Anyways. Oh my God, trying to focus here and here and here. So anyways, it just seemed a little suspicious, right? So every time I go over there, they would just kind of clam up. The guy would try to talk to me, but it was just like, there was just an unease about him, right? So anyway, that's neither here or there. I didn't think nothing of it. People have got their things they're doing on their own. But, I didn't pay no mind to it. But in about a year or so, things just went to way south. So we were just on the verge of whether we should kick him out or not. But they did mention that at this point that they had an issue with this AC unit, so I do go back over to the AC unit to check this one out, because we try to get people to fix and everything else. But when I went over there, I fixed it, but I also noticed the hallway floor was kind of wobbly. So I'm like, we got to fix this. So I went in the hallway there was some bad wood and stuff, so replaced the wood, replaced floor, everything was kosher. But when I got done with that, I looked into the bathroom in the hall. Like I looked in the bathroom and I noticed the bathtub was hanging, like just hanging off the wall. Like the floor just fell through. So I was like, "Hey guys, what's up with this?" And they're like, "What do you mean?" I'm like, "The tub, it's just kind of sagging. Why didn't you get?" Well, we didn't think that we never used it, so we didn't think that we needed to tell you that. What? I mean, this is why some landlords have issues, because they didn't tell me. And I couldn't figure out why. Why wouldn't they tell me that the tub was freaking just sagging? Why wouldn't they say this to me? And then we found out. Literally within a month, we found out why they weren't telling us about some of the bigger issues. Because literally, after we kicked them out, we went in there. There was issues. There was floor pieces in each, walls in each place, and turd monkey over there. So we found out there was a lot of issues, but I could never understand why they didn't tell me about this stuff. But literally like a week after I got done working on that floor, because I needed to fix the tub, so I had to get the money up to fix it, because I was already fixing the floor, which took a lot of bank out of me. Because as I've told you before in other videos, we don't have a lot of money to fix it here, because it's just like, oh, I cussed. We don't have a lot of money to fix things here because you know, people getting behind on rent and everything. We're finally getting caught up. Things are getting better. So within 6 months or so, things will get great. But I had to get money to fix the tub, right? So a week went by, and then the next thing you know, there is a line of FBI, GBI detectives and police department all going to their house. We're like, okay, what's going on? They said that they had an ID theft ring. I'm like, okay, you know, I mean, it could be a mistake thing, just, you know, whatever. So, you know, there's an active investigation. I'm just going to, like, steer clear for right now, because we don't know what's going on, and I'm not going to get caught up in this shit. Oh, my necklace. Gotta have my necklace out. So I don't want to get caught up. So, I don't want to get caught up in all that stuff, so I just kind of stay away. I talked to police that said that they had some ID theft ring. I'm like, what? So I just kind of let it go for a second. And then a week later, they're back and they arrest this guy that was living there. I'm pausing because I'm going to put up a picture and that stuff. So they busted him. They busted him for ID theft. ID theft, right? So I found out from various sources that he was caught up in one of the biggest ID theft rings in Georgia. We're talking, he was going for millions. Like, he apparently got up to $1 million worth of ID theft ring. And apparently the way the police busted him was a couple of his lackeys were cashing bad checks, like bad printed checks at the bank. The bank informed the police. Police came, looked in the car, they found all these checks, and they went back to him. Right? So I was like, what the hell? So we contacted the lady that was living there. I was like, look, you got the police here and stuff. This is bad. This is huge. We're going to have to not renew your lease, because this was the same time the lease was popping up. So we're kind of like, we're just not going to renew your lease. And she came back at us. She's all like, but this is my daughter, and you're affecting us, and it had nothing to do with me. And we're like, okay. Maybe they're right. Maybe she actually had nothing to do with it. So we're going to talk to the police. And she's like, okay. So we call the police. I call the police department. I'm like, hey, what's going on? I'm the owner of the trailer park, and we're on the verge of doing this. So what's going on? We want to make sure we're misstepping this. And the officer said, yeah, there was a year-long investigation of a lot of ID theft rings. There was places from like 5 different states, 25 to 67 cases or something like that. And I was like, well, what about the lady living there? Do you think she understood anything? And he's like, yes, there's enough evidence to prove she knew stuff, but not enough to say that she was actually involved. But in their opinion, she had something to do with it. And we're like, okay, yeah. So we have this big issue with police. Like I said, and I've said in previous videos before, we've tried hard to get the crime rate down here. So between this trailer, the one in number 10, and then this, it's getting out of hand. Even the time, my wife is smacking me like, stop this, no more. So yeah, that was in my face. Well, that's bad filming. When you got to keep the face. You got to keep the face in. I swear to God, boy. Anyway, should I fire him? Should I? So, anyways, no one's asking you. I'm in charge here.
I am the camera. I say no.
So, yeah. After we talked to police, he said that she knew what was going on. We don't have enough to prove that she's directly involved, but she knows what's up. So we're like, yeah, that's enough for us. That's enough for us, right? And not only at this time as well, not only did we notice that the lack of money, we also know that she was getting thinner and looking a little more sickly and a little more not good. Even their daughter wasn't staying there as much. And I should have mentioned that, but yeah, they had a daughter and that wasn't staying there much. And the police said they found drug paraphernalia all through the house. And we're like, okay, yeah, we're going to have to evict you. And she was like, fine. We called her back. We were like, hey, look, we talked to the police, and she didn't disagree. So we gave them 60 days, because technically at the end of the lease, if you're not going to renew the lease, you have to give it 60 days. So that's what we gave her. 60 days came and went, and she was not having it. She's trying to fight us for it. And so we're like, oh boy. So we had to end up taking him to court, right? And we see, here's the eviction process, here's the paperwork, here's the, all this, except for the writ of possession, because we can't do that. So she comes back with, she's going to fight it. She is actually going to fight it, right? We're like, what the heck? And then with all this going on, with all the damages, see, this is why we found out that they weren't telling us about the damages in there, because there is so much problems in that trailer. Like floors falling through. We had to redo the entire kitchen. We had to redo the bathroom. We had to, so many issues in there. This young lady was trying to move to another place, and she's asking for references from us. References. How that was mind-blowing. I'm like, after all this, making us take you to court and putting us through all this stuff, you want LandLord referrals from us? No! Because in my mind, when you do this stuff to our trailer park, you're not just doing it to me and my family and this turd monkey. You're doing it to the entire trailer park. Because we worked hard at getting the crime rate down, and you are a pivotal reason the crime rate's going up. And you want me and my wife to give you references? No. Because after he got busted the first time, when they arrested, they came, after he got arrested, after he actually got arrested, they hauled him off. Because he got out on $600,000 bond or something weird like that. It was just crazy. There was a car sitting down by their house, in front of their house. And we went to him, and it took off. Because usually if I got people here that I don't know trespassing, I go and talk to them, and I'm either aggressive or not, but they usually communicate, whether they're yelling at me back or whatever. But no, this car took off. And it was right across from their house, number 11, right after this ID theft ring. So that was kind of suspicious. So, it gets even better. Because she kept denying. She kept denying that she knew anything, right? So, we go in there to clean everything up. We finally got them out there. We have somebody moving in, so we're going all through the house. Because what happens when somebody moves out, people will leave a lot of stuff. So, we all become vultures. Like, literally, there will be like Miss Joanne, me, the kids, my wife. We all go start rummaging through there. And I will leave the trailer open for a couple days after somebody moves so we can go through it. But when we went through it, we found another $16,000 worth of checks. And the lady who said that she had nothing to do with it found some of her own names on on some of these checks. And it was just mind-blowing. Mind-blowing that this young lady would try to tell us that she had nothing to do with it. She knew nothing, but yet all the evidence pointed to it. And even when I was in there afterwards, we found a bunch of basically crack pipes and stuff, not just trying to hype up anything. It was the glass little rose pipes you see at the convenience stores. We found so many of those in there. We found bongs that were makeshift where you were doing meth in the bongs, because people modify that stuff. And it just, one thing after another that kept leading us to this, and we finally got them out of there. We got a wonderful lady and her family moving in, but it was one of the craziest stories that we'll ever know here at the trailer park. And if we are lucky, this will be the last eviction story that I have for you. Granted, we do have another eviction coming up, but the thing is, it's just a personal issue, and it's not like this. It's just business. Where this one, I'm not going to say that the other one we're dealing with is, it wasn't personal, it was business. This was personal. This was messing with people here at the park. This was affecting those who lived here. I will beat you. God!
Fuck.
But anyways, if I'm lucky, if we are lucky here at the park, that will be the last eviction story that we have. I think my track record of evictions here at the trailer park isn't bad. Since 2016 versus till now, about it. So I've got other stories, but the next video on landlords and evictions, we're going to talk the difference between business and personal. But anyways, thank you for listening to this. Like, if you have any ideas, thoughts, or comments, please comment below, like and subscribe, and we will talk to you later. Thank you.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.